Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Let's get back into gold and silver. I know a lot of people are expressing concern, but look, man, if you want to jump into gold and silver and try to get rich overnight, it's hit and run. Let's be realistic. There are a ton of things out there that we've seen over the last, year and a half, 2 years, 5 years, that say that gold and silver should be, without a doubt, at least 10 times higher than where the hell they are right now. Okay, so before we get into that next part, though, we will get into cryptos, because I talked about that Wyckoff pattern, but a lot of people only saw one side of it. And then I told everybody, look, there's another side of it that's being missed. I want to talk about that. So before we get into that, you guys know if you're going to buy gold and silver, go check out our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. Hey folks, just a quick reminder that back in 2008 and 9, a lot of people lost all of their retirement savings in their 401ks and IRAs because they did not own gold and silver. Yeah, that's right. Gold and silver protects you from a market crash. So do yourself a favor, protect your retirement by purchasing gold and silver. You can go to moneymetals.com, reach out to them, and they will help you set yourself up to protect you and your family from having to start all over from scratch. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they will send along with your order a free half ounce of silver. So folks, do yourself a favor, head on over to moneymetals.com and protect you and your family from a market crash, as well as inflation. So get on over there to Money Metals. Again, the link is down below in the description. Now's the time to buy. For those of you looking for my address, there he is right here. And you guys know I have this alternative website. There is a video on there that's for free. I encourage you to watch it as well as share it with a lot of family members. It has a lot of information on the coronavirus that I think everybody, and the vaccines, I think that everybody should really pay attention to. And so go on over there and check it out, because a lot of times YouTube does penalize us for talking about those particular subjects, and we all know that. Okay, so what's going on? Of course, after hours, we're starting to see a lot of green going on. We all know that the market's artificially pumped. All markets are being manipulated. If you haven't figured it out by now, all markets are being manipulated. So there's not this, well, that one's being manipulated. Well, that one's not the truth. That's being manipulated. All of them are being manipulated. So what is the real strategy? The real strategy is to make sure that you position yourself in a way that protects you and your family. I am like 95% gold and silver. All right. Actually, all my money is in gold and silver. I don't keep money in the bank. That's not a surprise to anybody. I've been saying that for a long time. I'm always concerned about a bail-in, and now we're seeing a lot of banks sending out reminders to people about what a bail-in is. That's not by accident. They're prepping people. As far as when it's going to happen, it's hard to say. We know there are a lot of people predicting the largest market crash ever coming up in October. So what's going to happen to gold and silver, cryptocurrencies, stocks and bonds when a crash happens? Well, they're all going to drop like hot potatoes. The values will. But what have we learned in the 2007-8 market crash? Sure, everything did drop, including gold and silver. But it took the stock market years just to get back to the level equal to right before the crash, where it took gold and silver only a few months. This time now we're adding in cryptocurrencies. So cryptocurrencies has not really survived or been through a true market crash yet. So there's no real history to judge on how it's going to perform. Everybody's going to say what they think. That's fine. I get it. Everybody wants to talk about their favorite investment because they want to feel like it's right. I get that. Remember, futures for Bitcoin have it around $22,000 and $24,000, which is interesting. So that means, hey, like I said before, welcome to the world of manipulation. So if you look at the 52-week average, what we see right here, we got, Bitcoin's on the halfway mark, and slightly above it, of course, is Ethereum. Hex is still doing phenomenal. It's up there, and so is Cardano. XRP, trying to get back up to that 50% mark. Polkadot at the 50% mark. Dogecoin way low off of its high after it was pumped by Elon Musk. Litecoin way low on the totem pole. Some of you guys might look at this as, hey, buy on a dip, it's on sale. If that's the case, XLM way low. So take a look at some of them other coins that I was playing with. Shiba isn't really moving much. Veracity still teetering around the 3 cent mark. Sandbox, what a disappointment, man. It was pushing up around $1.15. It is now 62 cents, although it was at 40 cents a couple days ago. So it seems to be making some kind of rebound. So as I was stating before, I'm going to be doing videos with people and bringing you a whole lot more information on cryptocurrencies. See, mostly we've been focusing on which coin to buy, to watch it going up and down. There is a lot more information that we can look into and share. There's strategies on how to have your money make money for you. So is it too late? Maybe it's not. There's a lot of people who think the market's going to crash. And for people who know about different types of, the rich are really slick at protecting their money and preparing themselves to get even richer on the other side. And what I mean by that is they know when a market crash is coming. Most of them most likely have insider trader information. But what they do is they wait for the crash to happen. They wait for things to just slow down just a little bit and then turn around and pump all their money into their favorite stocks, but at a much cheaper price. And this is how the rich continue to get rich, is because they're in that position to do that. So can we get in that same position? Could us normal peons get there? We're going to find out, because we're going to go over a bunch of different strategies, and it's up to you to pick one. So what the heck is going on with silver? At the beginning of this morning, it was up here. Now look where it is, way down there. What are you talking about? Almost a dollar drop off. That's just ridiculous. And then right here, well, sometime around, what is that, 9 in the morning? Isn't that usually when it happens? 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden you see a big drop from $22.18. Just dropping down here. It's a huge drop. The markets are being manipulated. We know that what the rich are doing is just stocking up on physical gold and silver and keeping the value of it down really low by sound paper. They don't want the paper. They know it's time to get out of the paper. Right now is the time to get out of paper, gold and silver, and get into the actual physical gold and silver itself. Gold futures settle at a 7-week low as yields dollar pops. There goes that, oh man, the dollar strong talk again. Do any of you guys actually believe the dollar's getting stronger? You actually believe that? Have you seen the cost of food lately? Have you seen the cost of gas? The economy is still mostly closed down. Gold futures on Tuesday posted their lowest settlement in 7 weeks, weighed down by steadily rising U.S. Treasury yields and a strengthening dollar. They're pumping out dollars like it's candy, but they're trying to make us believe that the dollar is getting stronger. In the background, I kind of hear that Rocky movie, getting stronger. And then the dollar's just wheezing, falling down. It's on one knee, got the towel around his head, sweat coming off of it, oxygen machine on his back. Just not getting stronger. Who are they trying to fool? They're just lying to you, man. I would be at least halfway sold on the idea if the economies were all open and we were done dealing with this RONA crap. But this is just ridiculous. So gold and silver, again, with what's coming. Yeah, people go, well, Pimpy, don't you think gold and silver are going to crash too? Well, yeah. I mean, it did in 2007, 2008. And I don't mean by crash. I mean, it went down about 20% versus stocks and bonds were bouncing somewhere between 40 and 60% loss. But then it took, a couple of months for it to rebound and then continue to climb up and took off. Gold and silver is the right move. Again, I'm not sure what to think of cryptos because crypto does not have a market crash history. Not really. So it's talking about this, how, China was going to affect the crypto market, and it did, not once, but twice. And then I said, well, somebody said that, hey, China's made these threats before about it being illegal and coming right back to it each and every time. Okay, this time definitely is different because they have their own version of a cryptocurrency coming out. China is combating crypto with a push for a digital yuan. So just like I said, I find it hard to believe that other countries are going to allow their citizens access to cryptocurrencies that would be competing against its own digital dollar. Now that I said that, I still believe we should be a lot more diversified. Against my better wishes, I am going to myself be looking at the different strategies for cryptocurrencies and see what I can do about grabbing as much money as possible in a short period of time so I can stock up on even more gold and silver and then sitting back and watching to see what happens with cryptocurrencies during this crash. Now, I don't know how much money I can accumulate between now and about 2 or 3 weeks, but we'll see. No, obviously, I'm hoping that it doesn't crash by next month, but it looks inevitable. So nothing's set in stone. As part of its quest to be an advanced economy, China initially appeared to embrace cryptocurrencies. Yeah, it's that indoctrination of people using digital currency. In 2011, just 2 years after Bitcoin was born, the country opened its first Bitcoin exchange. By 2016, as both a center of trading and as a maker of equipment used to mine Bitcoin, China was a deeply influential player in the industry. But in 2012, Xi Jinping came and he took over the leadership of China. That crypto calculus has changed. It's increasingly clear that the essence of cryptocurrencies tender that can be freely issued by private companies and individuals, and that allows for decentralized and anonymous transactions, is deeply at odds with the Chinese Communist Party governing approach to the digital economy under Xi, in which they can spy on everything that you do, which is exactly the direction we're trying to go into. When Facebook was dreaming up of a cryptocurrency project known as Libra, a top official in China's central bank warned that a privately developed super sovereign digital currency was definitely a threat to the central bank's authority. So anyways, after almost 8 years in development, the digital yuan arrived in the wallets of ordinary users in government-led trials last year. The digital currency is distributed to consumers by the central bank via 6 major commercial banks. Usually through the wallet app, users can make payments by scanning QR codes and using wearable devices, including physical wallets, that are embedded with digital yuan chips. In designing and promoting a sovereign virtual money, China's government has 3 major goals, apart from being the front runner of developing digital currency. So it wants to gain a greater insight into how money is flowing in the country, something that is hidden in cash transactions and even mobile payments, whose data rests with private firms. It also aims to regain control over payments that are increasingly mediated by private firms such as Ant Group's Alipay and Tencent WeChat Pay. As part of a border regularity crackdown on technology, both of these companies have faced antitrust probes. Isn't that funny how that happens? Ripple. It hopes to eventually boost the yuan's international standings. Easier said than done if all remains the same. If China didn't have the reputation that it does of screwing people over, then I think they would have a lot easier time with this. But nobody trusts doing business at all with China. So case in point, here you go. Global concerns over the digital yuan. The rest of the world will get its first major glimpse of the digital yuan at next year's Beijing Winter Olympics. The Chinese government has been busy preparing for the rollout. The games will feature ATM machines that can convert foreign currencies, including US dollars, into virtual Chinese money, which will be carried in a digital yuan wallet. So I'm not sure if with Biden in there, I'm sure we're going to the Olympics. I thought for sure we would probably protest it and make it really hard on their currency to actually take up traction. There's a handful of countries who are actually talking about possibly boycotting the Olympics. If that happens, that's going to be really detrimental to the yuan, in my opinion. Plus the economy of China, who's on the verge of an economic crisis right now. They're about to go bankrupt. Having the Olympics there at this time is perfect timing as far as money coming into their country. But with everybody on lockdown like they did at Tokyo, this ought to be interesting. So how many of you, just go ahead and say it down below in the comments, how many of you think that all of a sudden magically China is going to be fully open despite what's going on with the coronavirus for the Olympics, unlike what happened in Tokyo? I think there's no way in hell China is going to close it down. They need the money. We'll see where this goes from here, but definitely Olympics are coming. This is the time that China is going to make their move as far as the digital yuan is concerned. So I'm curious to see how this rolls out. Again, rumor has it that it's gold backed, but we will see if that's the truth. One time we were talking about how all of a sudden the Bitcoin does have a habit of following the pattern of the Wyckoff. So we saw how Bitcoin was climbing up and was doing a really good job. In 2018, we started to see highs on a lot of different cryptocurrencies. We saw it was, I believe, Bitcoin got up to somewhere around $19,000 or $20,000. Everybody was all excited about it. And then all of a sudden it dropped back down. And here we were dealing with the cryptocurrency that was around $3,000. So, it's like 1/3 its value. Then all of a sudden we're right back up to new record highs. So the pattern is being followed. If this is the case, then you should be able to use this graph to pretty fairly pinpoint highs and lows of Bitcoin. And if you look at the graph, it does follow it, and it has been following it since 2017. So in April, when it got up there around its new highs, around 62, then all of a sudden it starts to drop down again. That's following the pattern. But here's the thing I noticed about the pattern. It starts to go down, it drops, and then all of a sudden, it isn't reaching the same low point as previous. It isn't reaching a new low point. It only falls down so far, and then all of a sudden you go into an accumulation state. So there is apparently a 4-year pattern. So if we follow the pattern and we follow the years, you can tell right now we would be in what's called an accumulation stage. So it went up and then came down, went up even higher, came down. But when it comes down, it never goes to new lows. If you look at, was it 2017, 2018? Actually 2017, when it went from 20,000 and dropped all the way down around 3,000, that's a pretty good hit. It's about 1/7, less than 1/7 of its actual value. And then all of a sudden it went right back up to new record highs. Now it's going down again. So we're in what we call the accumulation stage. So I saw the guy that did the video on the Wyckoff, and I was blown away because he was right. It is following the pattern. So if you know this in advance, then you'll know when to buy and when to sell. This is where I think we're going into right here, which is the accumulation stage. We are already at the record top. Between now and, well, I don't know. They're talking about futures contracts on Bitcoin being around 22 or 24,000 by December. Let's see if it actually gets down that low. You got to remember, when you buy Bitcoin, you guys, you don't have to buy the full Bitcoin if you can't afford it. Obviously, if you ain't got 40,000 laying around to buy a Bitcoin, then what you could do is you go buy, $100 worth of Bitcoin, $50 worth of Bitcoin. For those of you looking to do that, I do have the link for Coinbase down below in the description, as well as Kucoin for those of you who want XRP. Okay, because it's down low. If you want to jump on it while it's low, XRP, now's your time. So go to Kucoin, the link's down below. Or if you want to go to Coinbase, the link's down below to buy cryptocurrencies. But to me, I think we're going into the accumulation stage. We're not quite there yet. It's going to drop a little bit more, maybe about half of where it is right now. Here's the only difference is this. We know there's a market crash coming. There's no doubt about it. So it's going to be interesting to see how cryptocurrencies respond and if it continues to stick to this pattern. Also, before, you weren't selling futures contracts into cryptocurrencies. So I'm curious to see how that's going to feed in to this whole graph as well. So you guys let me know what you think. Do you think we're about to get into the accumulation stage? I think we're somewhere about right here. I'm not looking at the dollar wise, but if I'm just talking about the graphs, we were way up here. Went from 60, we're now in the 40s. If we get around the 20s, that's going to be somewhere right in here. And then it's going to be, in my opinion, bouncing around between 16,000 and 26,000 during the accumulation stage, and then goes right back up and definitely going to pass up 64,000. You're going to start to see it get into hundreds of thousands if it continues to follow the pattern. So there's at least something there for you to watch. So far, it has been following the pattern to the T. Okay? So just take that in consideration. I think we're getting ready to go in the accumulation stage. That most likely starting in 2022, carrying over for the whole year 2022. And then once again, during that 4-year cycle, we'll start to see it go up. So between now and then, you can keep pumping $100 here, $500 there, pumping it into Bitcoin. Get yourself up there around a full coin and just let it ride on up. It's going to get up there. Again, that's if it follows the pattern. We don't know how Bitcoin's going to act. We don't know how any cryptocurrency is going to respond or act in a true market crash. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, I was talking to somebody and I said, look, this guy's like, what's following the Wyckoff? I go, yeah, it is. But you got to remember, that's just one side of it. There was a whole other part of the graph that wasn't being showed in that guy's video. That's where we are now. This is coming down to me, the downside of the cryptocurrency is going down. We're about to go into the accumulation stage. Yeah, probably take about a year. before it goes back up again. But it'll bounce around and get you excited and then take off all over again. Going to a whole new heights. So when do you want to jump on this? So right now we know Bitcoin's around what, 41, 42,000? So if the future contracts say it's going to drop 20 more thousand, do you want to buy Bitcoin now or do you want to wait to see if it does go lower? Everybody's predicting a market crash in October. Do you want to wait to see if it actually happens? It's not that far away. All right, so I just wanted to share these graphs because I've seen it before, but it's interesting that people weren't showing the other side of this. Sure, it does come down, but it does not go down all the way to its where the lowest part. It goes down about, 70%, 60% of the way. Is that right? No, it's more like 75% of its way back down to the original low point, and then goes right back up to do record highs. So if that's the case, and you know how to follow this pattern, and you watch it every time, you'll know when it gets up to the highest point, sell, 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 hang tight, let it go all the way back down to around accumulation stage, buy, and then let it right back up again. That's just my opinion. But again, besides buying cryptocurrencies, there are other strategies, and we will bring that to you soon. All right. Anyways, that's it for now, you guys. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.